Picking the right truck is about more than just size. One of the first hurdles you'll run into, especially on big heavy-duty pickups, is whether to go with a gasoline or a diesel engine. But what's the difference? That's what we're going to explain today, and we've got these two trucks to help us. The 2021 Ford F-250 Super Duty with a gas motor, and the 2021 Ram 2500 HD with a turbocharged diesel. Now let me tell you, there's a lot of power underneath these two hoods, so let's dive inside and see what makes them tick. Hey everybody, I'm Desola from Edmunds, but we're known as the car testing pros. We've teamed up with the experts over at CarMax to help you find the right vehicle for your needs. Now both of these trucks behind me look tough, right? Well, under the hood, they're running two different fuels. That's right, people. Gasoline and diesel are literally two different liquids, but both of them are made from crude oil. Diesel is a less refined fuel that is not only thicker than gasoline, but is far more energy dense and it burns slowly. Conversely, gasoline is a highly refined, thinner fuel that is less energy dense, but burns faster, like much faster. Why does that even matter? Well, it makes a difference in horsepower and torque. You know, the engine specs that every truck driver likes to brag about. But what's the difference? Well, in a highly oversimplified way of thinking about it, horsepower is the speed of a cheetah and torque is the brute strength of a gorilla. Now, the vast majority of vehicles sold in the US are gas-powered because, among other things, they easily produce responsive horsepower. But with heavy-duty vehicles this size, a good chunk of them are actually diesel. And that's because diesel engines make lots and lots of consistent, bulky torque at low RPMs thanks to the energy density of the fuel. Now for big trucks, that means that you can usually tow heavy loads more easily and more efficiently than you can with gas. It's science. We all know gas engines. They're easy to understand. You step on the pedal and you can feel the movement right away. But here's something that you should know. Mechanically speaking, they're typically more complicated than diesel engines. Now combine that complexity with the facts that gas engines run at higher RPMs to create their power, and that gas is more acidic than diesel, means that in general, there's just more wear and tear on a gasoline engine. Now gas is also less efficient because of its comparative low energy density, which means that you'll go through more fuel to go the same distance. The upside, no complaints about the power here. 385 horsepower and 430 pounds-feet of torque from this 6.2-liter V8. Since gasoline engines are far more common, it can be easier to find experts to service them in most of the country. And guess what? Parts are usually more readily available too. Now for the diesel. Now if these are foreign to you, here's what you should know. They're big, heavy, comparatively simple machines. There are fewer parts than in their gas counterparts, and the more the engine runs, the more the diesel fuel actually lubricates things inside. So that's why diesel engines have a reputation for needing less maintenance over time and tend to last longer in general. And again, you guys, diesel is more efficient. So on a truck this size, you'll fill up the tank much less frequently, and hey, you may even save you some money. Now behind the wheel, the drive experience is different. It's slower to get up to speed, and this truck right here is awfully noisy. This truck has 370 horsepower and 850 pounds-feet of torque. Did you hear what I said? 850. Combine that thick diesel with air from the turbocharger and you get double the torque than in our Ford. And this engine is only a half-liter bigger than that one. Compact power, you gotta love it. And what does this decision come down to for most people? The money, of course. Diesel has its troubles here because while it's usually more efficient, diesel fuel typically costs more money than gasoline per gallon, and that's how it's been for years and years. Maybe the cost is okay with you, but you've heard that diesel engines are dirty. Well, lots of people think this, and that diesel scandal that happened a few years back certainly didn't help things. But the truth is, diesel does produce more harmful NOx particulates. But since 2010, the EPA has mandated lower emissions on medium and heavy-duty diesel engines. Manufacturers responded with DEF systems, or diesel exhaust fluid, into their vehicles. Now, DEF is a fluid stored in a separate tank that is injected into the exhaust to help cut down on NOx gases in combination with advanced catalytic converters. Now, you will periodically need to fill this tank, an expense and task that gas engines don't require, but on the other hand, you'll use less fuel in total. So as you can see, there are pros and cons to both types of fuel. Think of it like this. Quicker, lighter gas trucks are better at acceleration and they cost you less money per gallon. But then we have the heavier, torquier diesel trucks that are better for towing and they tend to be more efficient and have longer lives. So tell us which one is better for your lifestyle in the comments down below. As for me, I'm sticking with the Ram, all right? I'm gonna hop back in and feel that torque one more time.